Assalamu alaikum students. I hope you all are doing well. I am Mohammed Saad, your ICT instructor. In today's lecture, we will be covering two things. We will be familiarize ourselves with the mBlock interface, and we will be creating our own game using mBlock. So what is mBlock? mBlock is a simple block-based coding tool which is used to create games. Now there are main parts of mBlock. This is the stage where you see what your project looks like as it runs, where it performs the executions of it will display the output. After that, this is our blocks area. There are different types of blocks and each block has different functionality. Like there is our looks block. It is used to display the output in the form of visuals, in the form of text. Then this is our sound block, which is used to display the output in the form of audio, in the form of sound. Then there is events block. Events block are used to start the execution of our program. Like you need a key to start a car. Here we need events to start the execution of the program. Then after that we have control block. Control basically is used to control the flow of your program. Like if you want to repeat an action for multiple times, for several times, you can use loops. And if you want to make decisions, that on the basis of decisions, that which block will execute depending on the situation, depending on the condition, you use if block and if else block. After that, there is a sensing block. Now, sensing block is used to like giving the input, or like sensing that someone is touching our character, or like different things, like giving the input to mBlock. After that, we have operators. So operators are used to like performing arithmetic and logical operators. So what is the difference between arithmetic and logical operators? Arithmetic operators are those operators which are like mathematical functions, like plus, minus, multiplications, and division. And what are uh, our logical operators? Logical operators are used to compare our values, like greater than, lesser than, and equals to. After that, we have variable section. Now, what are variables? Variables are like a container or a storage box where you store your data in the which is in the form of text, numbers. Now this is our script area where you join the blocks and create a program. Now we have to make a Pong game. So first we have to understand that what is a Pong game and how many characters and what sort of functionality we have to add behind the Pong game. So Pong is one of the first video games ever made. It's a simple game where a ball bounces back and forth and players use paddle to hit the ball so that it will keep away from the ground. We have to just stop, like we have to use the paddle to stop the ball, just to it don't hits the ground. If it hits the ground, then the game is will be stopped, the game will be over. And if we hit the ball with the paddle and it goes upward, then our score will increase. And in our last lecture, we have also used the variables, the difference between set and change. So in today's lecture we are going to use them in our Pong game. So let's start making creating our Pong game. So first we need three sprites. First one is the ball, second one the slider, the paddle, and the third one is the ground. Now let's add our sprites. So go to the sprite tab, click on this plus icon, and first search the ball, beach ball. This one. Add this. After that, you have to add the empty button, which is like a paddle. So type empty button. Yes, this one. After that, you have to add a you have to again add a button, like in this case we will be using the same button twice. Just change the name, like this will be our ground. Now we have to place them. The ground will be placed at the bottom of the screen. Go to the costumes tab, change the color, make it gray, dark gray color, and just increase the size of that. So as you can see, I have adjusted the ground. Now you have to add a background. So in this case, I will be adding a background of blue sky. So go to the background tab and type blue sky. Alright. So as you can see, I have added a blue background. So now you have to add the functionality. So in today's lecture, we will be adding the functionality behind the ball. And in next lecture, we will be adding the functionality behind the slider and the ground. So first, you have to select the beach ball. When you select the beach ball, then you have to understand that what sort of functionality we have to add behind the beach ball. So let's break the game into different parts. तो पहले हमें सबसे जो बॉल है उसको हमें रैंडमली मूव करवाना है. लाइक जब वो पैडल पे हिट करे तो वो अपवर्ड मूव करे, ना कि डाउनवर्ड्स मूव करे. एंड आफ्टर दैट जब हम पैडल से अपनी बॉल को हिट करें तो हमारा जो स्कोर है वो इंक्रीज हो. और थर्डली, जब बॉल हिट करे ग्राउंड से तो हमारी जो गेम है वो दोबारा से स्टार्ट हो, वहीं पर स्टॉप हो जाए, वहाँ से जो हमारा वेरिएबल है, जो हमारा स्कोर है, वो बिल्कुल जीरो से स्टार्ट हो. सो फर्स्ट, फॉर द रेफरेंस, ओपन बुक पेज नंबर 38. So first you have to add the events block. Go to the events tab and add this green flag, which is used to start the execution of the program. After that, use the forever loop. Why we are using the forever loop? Because हमने गेम को उस वक्त तक रन करते रहना है जब तक कि बॉल जो है वो हिट नहीं करती ग्राउंड से. उसके बाद हम ऐड करेंगे अपने कंडीशनल ब्लॉक. कंडीशन क्या होगी? अभी के लिए हम जो कंडीशन है उस चीज़ को हम कंडीशन ये ऐड करेंगे कि जब बॉल हिट करता है इस पैडल से तो वो अपवर्ड मूव करे और हमारा जो स्कोर है वो भी इंक्रीज हो. सो यहाँ से माउस पॉइंटर को हम रिप्लेस कर देंगे एम्प्टी बटन 14 से, जिसको हम स्लाइडर का नेम दे देते हैं एम्प्टी बटन को, to make it like familiar with the name. So paddle should be suitable. So now you have to make a variable. So why we are making a variable? So that our score will save in the database. अब स्कोर सेव करने के लिए हमें उस चीज़ को एक हमारे पास स्टोरेज बॉक्स होना चाहिए. और वेरिएबल क्या होता है? एक स्टोरेज बॉक्स होता है जिसमें आपका डाटा स्टोर होता है. और हम यू जस्ट हैव टू गो टू द वेरिएबल्स टैब एंड click on this make a variable. Now you have to give it a suitable name. In this case, I'm going to give it a name score, and click on and check this for all sprites option and click on the OK button. So now we have created a variable, score variable. So I'm using this change score by 1. Why I'm using this? In our previous lecture I have told you that to increase the score by 1 each time the ball hits the paddle, we have to use change variable. Now I will be using the motion block to make the sprite, to make the ball move upwards when it hits the slide, the paddle. So go to the motion block and use turn it in the direction. Go to the operators and pick a random position. Random position क्या होती है कि कंप्यूटर ऑटोमेटिकली सेलेक्ट करेगा 170 डिग्री से 190 डिग्रीज के इन बिटवीन सेलेक्ट करेगा, और वो उस चीज़ को ऊपर ही मूव करेगा. उसके बाद हमने यूज़ करना है मूव ब्लॉक, और वो उसी डायरेक्शन में मूव करेगा जहां पर हमारी बॉल की डायरेक्शन होगी. और वो कितने स्टेप्स मूव करेगा? 10 स्टेप्स. उसके बाद अब जब फॉर एवर लूप क्या करता है कि वो उस चीज़ को रिपीट करता रहता है जब तक कि हम मैन्युअली अपने प्रोग्राम को स्टॉप नहीं करते. अब जब फॉर एवर लूप के थ्रू वो फॉर एवर लूप के अंदर जितने भी ब्लॉक्स हैं वो उस चीज़ को मल्टीपल टाइम्स रिपीट करेगा. आपको पता है कि हमारा जो कंप्यूटर है वो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सर्किट्स पे वर्क करता है, और आपको पता है कि स्पीड ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बहुत ज़्यादा है कि अगर बॉल को पैडल के साथ टच करें तो उन नैनो सेकेंड्स में वो इतना ज़्यादा स्कोर हो जाएगा. उस चीज़ के लिए हमें यहाँ पर वेट ऐड करना पड़ेगा ताकि वो वेट करें और अपने स्कोर को सिर्फ 1 टाइम्स ऐड करें, ना कि 1000 टाइम्स एक दफ़ा हिट करने पे ऐड करें. So to add the weight, go to the controls tab and add weight 0.5 seconds. अब ये क्या करेगा कि ये फर्स्ट टाइम उस चीज़ को रिपीट करेगा और फिर उसके बाद 0.5 सेकेंड्स का डिले लेगा, पॉज लेगा, और फिर उसके बाद इस चीज़ को रिपीट करेगा. नाउ दिस इज फॉर एडिंग इंक्रीमेंटिंग द स्कोर. अब हमने क्या करना है? अब हमने बॉल की जो डायरेक्शन है, लाइक कि बॉल हमारा किस डायरेक्शन में मूव करेगा, वो अपवर्ड मूव करेगा. अभी जो हमने लास्ट में जो अभी हमने प्रोग्रामिंग की है वो सिर्फ बीच बॉल की मूवमेंट के लिए की है. अब हमने बॉल की डायरेक्शन ताकि वो अपवर्ड रहे उस चीज़ को लेके चलना है. उसके लिए हमें अगेन दोबारा से इवेंट्स ब्लॉक पे जाना है. इवेंट्स ब्लॉक पे जाके यू हैव टू ऐड द ग्रीन फ्लैग. When this green flag click to start the execution of this program, and then point in the direction of 45. Go to the motion tab and point in which direction? In the 45. So 45 will be in upward direction. So 45, yes, like this. It will move in the 45 degrees direction. After that you have to use again a forever loop to make this happens, to make these instructions foreverly executing until we stop this. So now in the forever loop we will be using move 10 steps and if on edge we will be using if on edge bounce. Now what it will do, it will if on edge bounce, it will like it is a conditional statement. It will like sense if the ball hits the ground, it will bounce back into the stage. It will don't go outside the stage like this, don't disappear. So it will make our ball remains in the stage. Now we have to change the background to make the game more realistic, more like make it good. We have to add the background. We have to change the background when the score is greater than 5. We have to change the background. For that we have to add another background. We have to add another background. So add other background from this and choose the sky. like this. Add this. Now go to the sprite option and now do the coding for that. So now for switching background, we have to again add the events tab. Go to the events tab to start the execution of this program, and we have to switch the background. Switch, go to the looks block, and to switch the background to like make the background, the visuals more realistic. Switch the background, the backdrop to blue sky. Now when the game starts, the background switch to this background, and when the player scores greater than 5, it will change the background. So first we have to set the score to 0, ताकि जब स्कोर हमारा 0 हो उसके बाद वो उसको काउंट करना स्टार्ट करे, और जब वो 5 से ग्रेटर हो तो वो उसको चेक करे. अब हमने यहाँ पर कंडीशन ऐड करनी है कि कब तक वेट करना है, जब तक हमारा जो स्कोर है वो हमारा 5 से ग्रेटर नहीं होता. अब उसके लिए हमने क्या चीज़ ऐड करनी है, हमने ऑपरेटर्स में जाके चेक करना है कि हमारा जो स्कोर है वो 5 से ग्रेटर है कि नहीं. तो उसके लिए हमने ग्रेटर देन सिंबल यूज़ करना है और 5 यहाँ पर टाइप करना है 5. और वो किस चीज़ को कंपेयर कर रहा है, स्कोर को. तो वेरिएबल्स में जाके हमें स्कोर वेरिएबल को ऐड करना होगा. अब ये क्या करेगा, ये चेक करेगा कि जो हमारा वेरिएबल जो स्कोर है, जो हमारा स्कोर अभी 0 है, वो जब जैसे ही 5 से ग्रेटर होगा तो वो क्या करेगा, वो नेक्स्ट बैकड्रॉप ऐड करेगा. और उस नेक्स्ट बैकड्रॉप के लिए यू हैव टू गो टू द लुक्स टैब, ऐड द नेक्स्ट बैकड्रॉप फ्रॉम हियर. Now let's see what these programs are doing. So now to start the execution of the program, click on this green flag. So as you can see that the ball is moving, and when it hits this pedal, it increasing the score, and when the score is greater than 5, when the score hits the 5 mark and make it like greater than 5, the background has been changed. So for today's lecture we have done the programming for the ball. Now we have in our next lecture we have to make the programming like how when the mouse will move, this paddle will follow this mouse, and when the ball hits the ground it will stops the execution, the game will over, it will stops all the blocks execution. For today's that's enough. I hope you understand today's lecture, and if you have any question regarding today's lecture, just leave them in the comments.